say that again, my lesson today is taken from the third letter of the Corinthians. Yes, pray. Gentlemen, I've been given the podium. It's quite exciting. So I pull it for a while. Well, a few awards to dish out. Shouldn't take too long now. We've done the most important ones that Carl's done there. This is sort of other stuff. We've got a few awards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to award a Player of the Year, which is picked by the wise old heads that are Carl and I, so you may disagree with that. We'll pick a Player's Player, that's picked by you lot, so that one will make probably more sense. We'll also have a Most Improved Player, a Most Promising Player,
get there, Carl,
distinction, and a Clubman of the Year.
Ooh.
What order shall we go?
We'll do the first one first.
I think the second one first.
Up to you.
Okay. We'll start with, I think, the Most Improved Player. It's a slightly fraudulent award, this one, because when I had 25 guys on the bench that time and I made substitutions, none of them went on, made the side any weaker. Most Improved Player suggests you've got someone who's not quite up to it, needs to learn a bit more, and so on and so on. So I'm going to name some names here, but guys, take it in the stead it's intended. This is not because you're weaker players, it's because you've sort of learned and acquired some skills as season's gone on. We have 3 nominations between us. George Gorbetti here. No? Well, he's one of the other 17s. Came into the squad initially, you might look at him and think, oh, is he contributing much? Actually, yes, he is. And then when he comes on, really fulfills the job well. Second row is not glamorous, a lot of work involved, does it very well. We also had Alex, who fills in at various positions for us until he got broken in senior training, for which I'm sure the guys there will apologise. Barry, looking at you. But the great thing with him, not so much the improvements, the huge enthusiasm he brings to the game, and great desire to learn, who is always in senior training. And the other one was Ben Goscombe, been in the side a long time. That was that good. But again, he's a guy who puts in an awful lot, and then if you really take time to watch what he's doing, he is performing to a very high standard. So there are nominations, and our award for the Most Improved Player goes to Ben. This one we've called the Most Promising Player, and again, it's not because we think someone needs to learn and so on and so on, it's because we think these people are really showing an ability, and actually they're all guys from the under-17s, and we are all really looking forward to seeing you coming forward and playing more games in the senior side of the club. Again, 3 nominations. We have Ed Ben, good to see you back, really good impact you made. We have Rory, who's not here, but I think particularly important with him was he had some interesting times in the early part of the season. he saw red and then saw yellow. That's the way that around. That's the times. But to be fair to the guy, he took it on board, put in some good performances, stepped in the scrum half for us, so really good stuff to see. And also Glenn Tomlinson, because he's propping. Not an easy position, puts a lot of hard work there, made a good debut in the seniors. But our winner is, and we need to go to a video link because he's not here, it's Rory. Yeah. Joe Major. Yeah.
So Joe Major gets the Players' Player of the Year.
And then the Player of the Year, which is one that Carl and I discussed. Lots of names in the frame there, because you all know lots of good performances there. We narrowed it down to 3, sort of in a short list. One was a name we've heard already, it was Joe Major. And We also thought Conor Brunson had a really good season, particularly stepping up into senior rugby, and also Will CL for much the same reasons, big contribution to senior rugby as well. But we had to choose somebody, and we chose Conor. And the fifth award, last award, but not last by any means, is what we've called Clubman of the Year. And what happens on the pitch is great, that's very important, but there are some people, players, administrators, whatever they may be, who put in an awful lot of work off the pitch, and that is absolutely crucial to the way a side functions. Now, Tim Stone is over here, as I introduced you earlier. A few weeks ago I met with him and with Martin Beer in the pub, best place to meet, to talk about next year's academy. And he said to me, well, how did it work this year? And I said, well, we sort of played some really good rugby, had good games, and I just sort of put the guys out on the pitch. Okay, I said, great. So they then asked me some questions and they said, so who dealt with membership? I said, that was Tina. And they said, okay, right, good to know that. Who dealt with the registrations for the league? That was Tina. Okay, and they said, okay, fixtures, we need a lot of fixtures. Who dealt with those? Tina. Okay, they said, right, and then they had to report those fixtures to the league afterwards. Who did that? Tina. And they said, well, who got in touch with the players and got them ready to play and made sure they were there? Tina. Okay, who arranged lifts and made sure everyone got to the game? Can you guess? Tina. And they said, okay, well, you must have done something, Paul. But, who arranged to get the shirts washed after the game? And then they said, okay, but there must be food after the game. You must be involved in doing that, Paul, were you? I said, no, Tina did that. So they said, oh, well, but the playing side must have been down to you. Who arranged the refs? Tina. And they said, okay, you're having a presentation at the end of the season. Who was arranging that? They use sort of words I won't use in this speech, and what did I do? Well, very, very little, because Tina, there is only one choice for Clubman of the Year, and that was you.